Aestus in Oberton. Every night, Mendax, the Lord of Lies, subdues his brother, and the world turns to darkness. Every morning, Purus, champion of truth, overtakes his brother, and the world returns to light. As the weather warmed in spring, the days got a little bit longer, finally coming to the one day each year that was longer than all others. On that day, Purus had the greatest upper hand on his brother Mendax. On that day, Purus's blessing was stronger than any other. That day was Aestus. In Oberton, like most towns throughout the world, a great festival was held on Aestus. Carnival games and music were played by all the townspeople. Everyone took the day off work. In the capital, they celebrated for an entire week. Slán didn't care about games and music. He didn't care that he didn't have to work the hammer, although he had spent the better half of the day doing so. Hard work suited him just fine. He didn't even care about the capital and seeing its week-long celebration. All Slán cared about was that Cinda was going to be at the carnival. Slán lived on the outskirts of Oberton. Travelers passed by his home and he and his father would reshoe their horses' hooves. They couldn't afford to take the day off, but it was a nice change of pace from making nails all day. He washed in a hurry, then took a little time to comb his fingers through his hair. His arms raised and flexed in the mirror. Despite all his hard work, he still hadn't filled out. Slán's father told him that was normal for a boy on his 14th Aestus. Slán wished they had left an hour ago, but his mother took longer to get ready than he did. Seven's Day was Slán's favorite day of the week, not because it was the only day of the week his father refused to work. It wasn't the holy sermon from the dawn servant. It was the way Cinda smiled at him during service. Slán and his family had left after dinner. Despite their hard days, they couldn't afford any of the spiced meats or sliced fried potatoes at the carnival. Slán didn't mind skipping out on the food. He just wanted to get to the carnival while Cinda was still there. They left their little roadside home in the country and walked toward town at a slower pace than Slán would have preferred. A solemn coin waited in his pocket, without a companion to clink against. It was enough to play a game at the carnival. He had been practicing the nails for a moon. He would win a nice prize for Cinda. Along the way, they came across a wagon of an old man that was stuck in the mud. The old man with owl-shaped eyebrows and golden suspenders pushed to no avail. It didn't take any asking before Slán was pushing with the old-timer. His father had taught him better than that. His father joined as well, and his mother helped with the horse's reins. After 3 rocks back and forth, the wagon pushed forward. The old man thanked them and offered them a coin each for their help. Slán waved his hand. He wouldn't have it. Not just because his father was with him, but because he'd want someone to help him if he were stuck in the mud. The old man trotted away in his wagon, faster than Slán's mother walked. Slán wanted to be at the carnival, but he wouldn't rush his mother. When they arrived, Slán separated from his parents and promised to return at gloaming. The carnival was a sea of excitement. Throngs of people milled about. It would be impossible to find someone here. A man in strange makeup, presumably to look like some Golau Slán had never heard of, came up and danced around the patrons entering. Slán gave him a smile and moved forward. A juggler passed by, his 3 sticks twirling about him. Every few throws, the juggler would pretend to miss a catch, only to drop lower and catch it at the last moment. A tap on the shoulder forced Slán to turn. Cinda took his breath away. With strawberry blonde hair that fell about her yellow sundress, she took away Slán's words as well. All he could do was smile. All she did was smile back. She nodded sideways, and they walked in silence amidst the clamor. A rapid tapping sound called to Slán, and he led Cinda around the corner. A dozen men lined up along a long wooden table, each holding a hammer. At the instruction of the game master, they raced to hammer in 3 nails. A man finished first, and the game master handed him a smoked ham. The man raised the ham over his head and cheered. The others smiled and congratulated him with pats on the back. Slán took one of the empty spots and waited for the other 12 to fill. Lubach pried his arm between Slán and Cinda and leaned against the table. He talked at Cinda as if Slán wasn't there. Lubach was 2 summers older than Slán and as thickly muscled as Slán's father. Slán suppressed his anger. Cinda looked uncomfortable. "These hammers are for boys. That's a man's hammer." Lubach pulled Cinda's arm, yanking her away. Cinda looked back in desperation at Slán. Titum's hammer towered over the other games. At its base, a palm-sized target and a hammer too large for a man to wield. A tower extended 4 times the height of a man, and at the tower's peak, a bell. At its base, an iron ball. By the time Slán got the courage to confront Lubach, Lubach was already on his 2nd attempt. His first swing of the mighty hammer brought the iron ball almost all the way up to 5. For reference, the bell was at number 7. Lubach's second swing brought the ball past 5, halfway to the 6 mark. Over 24 people gathered to marvel at the feat. The game master cried out it was the hardest swing of the day. Lubach held the hammer overhead and cheered, paying more attention to his glory than Cinda. When he noticed Slán, he shoved the hammer at his chest and Slán took it. It was heavier than Slán imagined. Nothing like the finesse work of making nails or shoeing horses. Cinda smiled at Slán. Slán handed the game master his only coin. Having 20 onlookers watch didn't help his nerves. He gave one last shy smile at Cinda and readied the hammer. Slán raised the hammer overhead to swing. He gave a scan of the crowd. The old man with bushy owl-like eyebrows and the golden suspenders caught his eye. Slán froze, and the old man gave him a knowing smile and a wink. Slán looked back at the target and brought the hammer down with all his might. The ball shot up. The bell rang out with a thunderous clang. A collective gasp went from everyone other than Cinda. He scanned the crowd again. The bushy-eyebrowed old man with the golden suspenders was nowhere to be seen. Slán pointed at a carved doll, and the game master handed it to him once he collected his senses. Cinda took the doll and kissed him on the cheek. It would be the first of many kisses. They would be married 4 years later to the day. The doll became their daughter's favorite toy. Slán eventually became the mayor of Oberton. He never forgot his favorite Aestus. Every year at the carnival, he paid a coin and swung Titum's hammer. One year he nearly scored a 5, but never again hit the bell. He never saw the old man with the bushy owl-like eyebrows and golden suspenders either.